Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Jared Brandon Wong Pickups.
Hey, it's me, Todd Novak. We're super thrilled you are with us. I am excited about this show. We had a little bit of a break from the holidays, as most people did. So we didn't try to barrage you with a bunch of stuff while you're hanging out with your family or doing whatever you're doing. And for those who are stuck in the snow in the northeast, yikes. Sorry about that. I mean, you know, it's cold all over the place because it's still about that time.
Well, it's mighty cold here.
It's mighty cold here.
It is pretty cold.
It's in the single digits. Yeah, I'm cool with that. We've got somebody on the line.
Who is it?
It's Ryan from Yellowcake Pedals. How are you guys doing?
We are
Excellent.
doing fine.
Happy to talk to you today, my friend.
Happy to talk to you guys. Man, single digits, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It got to 15 here on Monday, and it's still, man, we had a hard freeze. We haven't had one of those in a couple of years. So,
And where you're calling from?
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Yep.
Man, you're down there, and I mean, you're getting that kind of weather down there. That's crazy.
Well, it's hit everybody this year for whatever reason. I guess that what do they call it? The
Polar vortex.
the bomb or whatever that hit the Northeast. I mean, it got down as far as I'm not sure if you're familiar with the guys from B.A. Ferguson Guitars. They're in South Carolina, in Columbia, and they got snow. I don't know how much, but they got enough to, I guess, shut the whole city down. I guess it even went down, I've heard, as far as maybe Savannah.
I thought they
Georgia?
they said even Florida got
Yeah, the
northern
Florida too. Yeah, it's 20 degrees in Florida. My buddy's down there, and I'm laughing at him because
They
he tried to
deserve
get
it.
away from it.
I shouldn't say.
You can't get it's just bad all over.
Yeah. So
I'm going out to California for the NAMM show, just to kind of walk around.
Yeah.
And
Tony and Jared are going to be there.
No, I won't.
Oh, awesome.
I'm skipping the California show.
Skipping the California show.
I will be there. Jared is going.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Just look for the only 7-foot dude that looks like he can crush you.
yeah, because I always look for those guys.
Yeah, right. And you go,
Where's the biggest guy in the room that looks like he can just like knock me around?
And that's just start poking him in the chest.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, right. Great. He should like dress up as Jaws from 007. You know what I mean?
I could see that.
Yeah, you could do that totally.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Well, anyways, hey, guitar stuff. Let's get on with it. So, with a year wrapping up and 2017 biting the dust. Thank goodness. Reverb's annual series provides a list of the most popular pedals of 2017. This is cool stuff. Lists are always fun to check out, especially if they're things that you actually like. So
Even things if you don't like.
and sometimes like weird bug stings and stuff. I don't know, whatever. But for this year's pedal rankings, Reverb has come up with a 3 distinct, though related, lists of pedals. And they are overall bestsellers, where you can find the top-selling individual pedals across all new and used sales on Reverb. New for 2017, the overall rankings to show just new pedals that were introduced this year. And best-selling used pedals, the ranking for pedals that sold in used condition. And most of these are sales are coming from individual and private sellers on Reverb and all that stuff. But it's cool. You can check it out and you can filter and see what you like. And you probably have a couple pedals that are worth something, I would imagine. And you can...
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And then you can put them up there and sell them yourself. Or buy a couple that maybe are hanging out at the bottom for some reason.
Bury him in the backyard?
Yeah.
I think that would be helpful for the pedal.
Maybe not.
Honestly.
Yeah. Anyway, so head on over to reverb.com/news to check out all of this cool stuff.
Reverb.
Yep.
.com.
Yep. And
Wait a minute.
What?
You can actually buy LPs on Reverb now.
You can.
Did you see that? That's pretty cool. I'm going to be checking that out.
Oh, wow.
Do it. Yeah.
Yep.
Go check it out. Tony,
Yes.
can you give us? We're about to jump in an elevator. We're only going up 5 floors.
5 floors.
Okay.
Just 5.
Just 5 floors.
Out of how many?
Out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Okay, we're going from 1 to 5.
Yes.
Give us the pitch.
So there I was with my family, sitting down at Christmas, little tiny Tim in the corner. He did say, "God bless us, everyone." Ding. But after dinner, everyone was sitting around. We were talking about the podcast, and they said, "Tony, how can we possibly help make this podcast bigger, better, stronger, faster?"
Patreon.
Ding.
I immediately said, go to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs and check out the many levels of sponsorship available.
The higher levels, you get your put the name on the thing.
So, in walks Ebenezer Scrooge.
Thank you, Tony. So, what's going on with everybody this week? Jared, go.
All right. So, I got me a Phase 100 because I want to sound exactly like Mick Ralph. He used a Phase 100, right? Well, anyway, I got the Phase 100. And
You did Ted more than he did. He had a Phase 90.
Oh, crap.
But you're 10 better.
Okay. Well, anyway, I really I was really looking forward to getting this pedal, and I found one from the later 70s, and it was like for $140 or something, 130 or something like that.
But it had the original box, matching serial number.
Matching serial number. Wow. The warranty card had the matching serial number sticker on it as well. So I was impressed. I was like, man, this thing's pretty cool. I'll just get it for the nostalgia, factor as well. So I bought it, and then I looked at all the costs and the details, and it was too late to change it. But the guy wanted $20 for shipping it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep. So he spent $10.09 or something. But I'm not going to get on him for $9.
I would.
I know, but
It's still kind of
it's a jerky thing to do. It really is.
Yeah, it is. I think it is.
They get you. That's how they get you. You buy it, and then you're like, oh, crap, look at this shipping. He's going to profit now $9 because I wasn't paying enough attention to detail, and it's on me now, right?
Due diligence.
Yeah, well.
Like I love the old Crown Power amps. Don't ask me why. I just do.
Yeah.
And if I'm ever looking for one, occasionally I'll look for one like on eBay or something, and I'll be like, oh, that's a good price. And I'll look at the shipping. I'm like, you're out of your mind.
It's like $100. They want a stupid amount of money to ship it.
It's like $40 to ship that little single. You are no.
Well, they're trying to make up for the low price that they're selling it for.
Right.
That's what they're doing. I mean, we all know it, but that's an old trick. It's one of the oldest tricks in a book. I fell for it. Anyway, I got the pedal. I was satisfied with the time that he shipped it in. He packed it really well. So I was just going to let that go. I plug it in with 100 MA, okay? And I got everything going. Plug it in, and I start testing the 4 different phases or whatever you call them. And I got to the last one, and it just fizzled out, and the thing started smoking.
Seriously?
Yes. So I thought, oh, man, this thing worked for like 30 seconds. And I thought, oh, what the heck did I do to this? I mean, did I start running too much power into it? Or it's 100 MA,
No, it's fine.
So I opened it up, and I looked at it, and I called my buddy Mike Trombley. You guys know Mike with Red House. And
are you telling us that?
No, I'm telling everybody who's listening.
Else. Okay, yeah.
So anyway,
I forget sometimes.
Anybody that's familiar with Mike from Red House.
Right.
Well, he looked at us. That's the whole thing.
He's on the podcast
he's on the
time.
show. Of course we know him.
So, but anyway, he said, no, man, those old blue transistors, they go out. They're junky and they're cheap. And so
it's got blue transistors in it?
Yes, it's got the little blue, they look like teardrops. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So one burned up pretty good, but I sent it to him anyway. I boxed it up.
See, that's the thing. Is like, what is making it burn up? That's my,
I don't know. He said that just happens sometimes.
It might have been Jared's song styling.
No, I tell you, maybe I didn't let the pedal, I don't know, acclimate to the thing, and it just, I don't know.
Oh, it shouldn't do that no matter what.
Okay.
That's in my opinion. I mean, I might be wrong.
Something just wore out.
So I'm sending it to Mike. He's going to upgrade take out the blue teardrop transistor thingies and put in better ones, and everything's going to be just fine.
Hunky dory.
And he's sending it back. So
where is Red House based out of?
Akron, Ohio.
Well, Troy.
Oh, okay, so they're close.
He doesn't
So it's
claim
not
Troy, but yeah.
I thought that was closer to Dayton.
It is.
Oh my God, I said Akron.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's all right.
It is Dayton.
There are other places in
He's
Akron.
in Ohio. Yes,
That's right.
Yeah, okay, so super. Here's my only thing, and I'm not going to try to start a war on this, but with all of the phase pedals, all of the phase 90, 100, 45s, all of them, it is you turn it on and phaser. That's all you get. Phaser. I want a level on my phaser. That's all I'm saying.
And a momentary switch.
I don't want.
Yeah,
it's like
I have
I was like, what? Come on.
I've got a Phase 90 that I got like in the early 90s, brand new, and that thing is just super loud. And it's not like I don't really like opening up and messing with the stuff that I have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I like to figure out, and I just don't have time, but I mean, I just like, there's got to be a way to just kind of knock down that extra. Just like, it's so loud. It just boosts everything up.
It just needs a level.
It just needs
knob.
that's all it needs. Yeah.
I
a
do
level
not
knob.
know why they don't include a level knob on these things.
Well, and I also hate internal trim pots if I can avoid them.
Yeah.
With the stuff that I build, so it's kind of like I'd hate to. You have to open it up and adjust it or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so Jared.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, buddy.
Hey, man. I mean, when I get it back, I'm going to be happy as a clam. I don't know.
Okay.
Was
Was there another thing that you were going to be happy as? You looked like you were searching there for a second.
No, I just said clam.
Happier than a pigeon with a French fry.
There you go.
Tony.
Yes,
Hog
I
in the
am.
water. Yeah.
Do it to it, bro.
So a buddy of mine took in a Guild X175 Blonde before the holidays. And he knew that I was a stupid Guild fan. And, of course, he brought it over to me, and I had to have it.
You melted.
I melted.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful guitar. It's basically an old jazz box. It's a 75 Guild. Not their best era of Guilds, but...
Well, Natch. I don't know.
Natch. As if.
I don't even know.
But it's a very cool guitar. Jared, I think you saw it, didn't you?
Yeah, I played it. It's really nice.
Plays
guitar.
incredibly well, so I had to have it. Now, the one caveat about it, not even a caveat, it's just as it is. Someone had put stickers across the top that said Dudley.
That's kind of great. I kind of like that.
Well, it is. For me, it's perfect because I love it. That's the name of the guitar.
Yeah.
Dudley. But someone had removed the stickers, and now all you could see is the faded where the rest of the finish had darkened a little bit. Now it's kind of a lighter Dudley across the top.
Nice.
So I guess the lesson learned is if you are going to put stickers on your guitars, you should probably either not sell them ever again or make sure it's not a vintage piece. I have no idea when these were put on, but I'm guessing maybe it was early in its time. But other than that, the guitar is absolutely in perfect condition.
Nice.
Beautiful carved spruce top.
That's cool.
I loved it.
So you just got to hang out with it for a little bit.
Oh, no, it's mine now.
Oh, it's yours.
It's mine.
I missed that part.
It's mine.
Wow, and you didn't bring it in?
Well, I
Is it
didn't want
just
to
too
bring it
cold?
out. It's too
Yeah,
cold. I
I
don't
get
like
it.
moving stuff around when it's cold.
Yeah, I get it.
So that's my
Nice.
fun and excitement for this week.
That's awesome.
What about you, man? Todd.
Ryan,
Me or Todd?
let's do Ryan.
Because I said Todd.
Yeah.
My excitement for the week. Boy, that's a tough one. Well, it is the new year. We're recording this as the 4th of January. So just been slowly Nothing too crazy. I am working on a new idea, which I'm not sure when it's going to come out, but it's definitely going to be along. If everything works out okay, like I want, it's going to be along the lines of that realm of where the Lida machine comes from, which is that weird, wacky type voltage controlled type stuff,
which we will get into in great detail in our interview with you.
And kind of trying to get ready to get everything ready to go for flying out to California in a couple weeks, which is right around the corner. I have a small prototype that may or may not be done, which is nothing really major. It's just a little something that'll probably be released, probably in a limited release, maybe. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. Just kind of get everything in line with what may or may not happen, which is always the thing, and working my regular straight job, which is always fun.
Yeah.
And
hey, we all got them. Most of us do.
Yeah. Yeah. I come home and do this when I'm not, with my kids or whatever.
Yeah. Tony and Jared just looked at each other and looked at me like what they do is their regular job.
We just like being poor.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right. Well, it's okay.
Yeah.
As long as you're happy with what you do. Like, I'm happiest when I'm doing the pedal with Yellowcake. I mean, the security from the other job is fine, but it's not fulfilling. I don't, come home from work being like, oh, that was just so great.
Do you mind? Do you mind me asking what you do? You don't have to tell us if you don't want to.
Well, I work for a municipality, and I basically do kind of asset management and stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's as far as
that means.
Yeah, it's totally fine. I sit in front of a computer all day. That's what the line I always use. I sit in front of a computer all day, and I just wish I was just doing Yellowcake. So,
yeah. Well, hey, but look, hey, you got that. And just imagine if you didn't.
Right. No, I know.
Don't imagine that because that can lead to.
No, I have imagined that. That's not a good place to be, pal. Yeah. I'm telling you. No, I'm very fortunate to be where I'm at and even though I think a lot of it is still a lot of, there's still a long way to go, and more exposure all the time, and meeting great people like yourselves in this industry, which I've been just overwhelmed with. Can't believe how many fantastic people I've met, So that's been wonderful, and everybody's been really positive, and then everybody supports each other for the most part, and I think that's great.
It is. Yeah. It's a good community.
Did you say you're going to NAMM next week or two?
Yeah. Yeah, he's going. Mm-hmm.
Have you been to one before?
I usually I've had a booth at the last two summer NAMMs because Nashville's really close.
Yeah.
And it's really close, and it's a lot cheaper. I'm going to this one just to kind of check it out. And I also kind of got roped in to doing a clinic in Eureka, California the weekend before with the guys from Copper Sound Pedals, because I know them really well. They're really good guys. And so basically I'm flying up the week before, and then I'm going to have my pedal. I'm going to have a pedal board at the Pure Salem Guitars booth Thursday and Friday. And then Saturday I fly out back home the Saturday while the show's going on still. Because I'll be gone.
Nice stuff.
Yeah, he is. Rick is a great guy.
You got to put me in touch with both of those camps, will you?
Oh yeah, definitely. They're fantastic guys. They make really great stuff. Rick has been really he's been a really good friend early on. He's what got me into Instagram, and so that was several years ago. And so he's just been really great, and I don't get to see him obviously, I've only met him briefly once. We didn't get a chance to talk very long because everything was going crazy and whatever. And we don't get to talk very often on the phone because, we're all busy with lives and everything else that's going on. So, but yeah, he's really great. We keep in touch through messaging and stuff. So
cool. Excellent.
Todd, what about
you?
Sorry for my long, what's your week like? And I just went 10, 20 minutes on whatever.
You're fine, man. You're fine.
Todd? Todd,
Yes.
is Todd there?
I am.
Tell us about that big piece of wood in your hands.
Tell me about that thing, Todd.
Man.
Go
All right.
ahead.
So I got Santa Claus brought me a really, really nice telly neck from All Parts. And it's got a beautiful flame on the back, maple neck with a rosewood fretboard. And this is going to be the first big physical piece of 2 physical pieces for my jazz, my telly jazz. I don't know if I can call it a jazz bastard because that's what Rock and Roll Relics calls theirs, and I don't want to rip him off because he makes good stuff, and I don't want to do him wrong that way. But
They're generally known as jazz casters.
I'm gonna call it
or telly masters.
Yeah, but I like his name better. But anyways, yeah, it's going to be a jazz master. Let's just say it's that. So anyhow, this neck is I'm just really, really happy with it. It's super nice, and I'm excited to get the body, which is shipping soon. The finish on this it's so much nicer than I expected. I've never ordered or bought a neck on its own. I don't want to say I was leery about buying, getting it, but when something comes and it's not from a brand factory per se, it's, it says All Parts licensed by Fender, made in Japan on the back.
And you put it in the body cap.
Oh yeah. You don't even know.
Covered up, you won't even.
I'm telling you, this is nicer than most of the necks that I have on my other guitars, to be quite frank.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's a fantastic
absolutely beautiful.
looking neck.
Well, that's one of All Parts nitro finished necks.
Yep.
I've had really good luck with those. They're really well made in Japan. The finish work and the wood in this one is really quite nice. So
Yeah, I mean, man, this fretboard is just, it's a knockout.
It's grainy, man. It's not just a dull color. It's grainy. It's beautiful.
Got really nice streaks in it, but it's super smooth, and it's got the fret. I think the biggest surprise, like the first thing I did, I was like, wow, this looks beautiful. And then I was like, okay, do the cheese grater test. And I ran my fingers down like on the sides, and I was like, oh, that's nice. Yeah. Beautiful. Like they did a really great job on it. So I'm happy with my All Parts neck.
Yay.
Thank you, Tony.
the rumor has it you have a bunch of other parts that
Yes,
came in
I got
too.
a whole box of all the other parts, most of the other parts.
All parts?
Very nice.
All parts, yeah. I got all parts. I got all the all parts.
Nice.
Yeah, got all the all parts. The only thing I need is Jared's wide range neck pickup.
Yep.
And so I'm making it a real jalopy because it's sort of actually it's going to be like a telly custom, a jazz telly custom.
Pickup configuration of a custom.
What gauge strings do you guys typically use? I'm interviewing you now.
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, on my Fender scale lengths, I generally use 10 to 46.
Yeah.
Gibson scale lengths, I usually go 11 to 48.
Yep.
And then if I'm doing like a Jaguar or Mustang, it's 12 to 52.
Yeah. I am doing some of these horns going crazy out there. I'm doing the SIT. I think they're ultra lights.
Now those are made
the yellow
in Akron.
package.
Yeah, those are made.
Those
in
are
Akron.
made in Akron. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Anyways, so let's get on with the business at hand, gentlemen.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 4 on the floor.
Okay, hit us. 4 on the floor.
The first one is really tough because it's a pedal that I don't have, and it's one that I let go a long time ago. It's an 88 flanger. It's not the one with the AC plug. It has the adapter, but I love that pedal, and I'm still kicking myself to this day for selling it. So that's the first one.
You can't find another one somewhere, like on Reverb or?
I just haven't, still have to. I feel like I have to take a shame nap after even talking about it. Honestly.
That's I've never heard of a shame nap. I like that.
No, I really feel like I'm going to have to after that one.
That's funny.
Second one is another one that I really love, which I don't use very often, but love very much, is the Full Tone 69. Because I have one that was built, I think, in 98. It's a fantastic pedal.
That is a great pedal. Yeah.
It is. I mean, there's certain things that I don't like about it, but that's not for me to decide, because that was, the pros well beyond outweigh the cons for sure.
Well, what are some of those pros?
Oh, it's just a fantastic pedal. I mean, it's just super loud and just has more than enough headroom, and it's very adjustable, and it's, something I wish I would have come up with a long time, but that was long before I was even building pedals.
Now that one has the, that's the reverse, is it reverse polarity? That's a pedal with you need a special cable, right?
Yeah. That's a special cable one, which definitely plays havoc with your if you're daisy chaining stuff, which I don't recommend anyways. So.
Right. Because I remember I almost actually bought one of those maybe a couple months ago, and I said, oh, okay, I can deal with a different chord. And the more I started reading about it, I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I want to deal with it, to be perfectly honest.
Right.
But it sounded really cool. I really liked the sound of it. But at that time, I was just like, I gotta keep my board nice and tidy. So
right. The second one,
that was the second one.
Or the third one,
yeah.
That was the second one. Thank you. The third one, the third one has to be probably right now, because here's the thing: is the tastes always change and everything,
sure.
And that's just kind of where I'm at. But like the whatever from Adventure Audio, I really love that pedal, and that's another one I don't have. So it's kind of like, and you can get your average wonderful lushy reverb and then just crazy stuff, and I really like that.
Yeah, that's a great sounding pedal. Some interesting
demos. Interesting demos, and Christian's a solid dude, and he's got a great product there. So,
is there any particular aspect of that reverb that you especially like?
You can just almost bend it to your will, and also sometimes
that's a great way to describe a pedal.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. And I want to go with the for the last one, go with the turbo overdrive. I think that one was one that inspired me to do, not only just to explore the idea of building pedals, but also in the end it was inspirational to the Furry Burrito, which is completely unrelated because they sound completely different. But for that one, for sure. And I especially loved the second release because you were able to take a little outside foot switch and switch that turbo sound on. So mixing that for me with the full tone 69 and then adding that extra whatever helped alleviate my output volume problem.
Cool.
If that makes sense.
Almost everybody's got at least one Boss pedal.
Yeah, no, I have several and I love them.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly do.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly could probably make the case of switching out one of those for a TR2.
Yeah. But that's a totally different podcast. That's on the pedal switching podcast. So
is that followed by the music history podcast that we're supposed to do?
Yeah, you know it. All right, man. That's a great list. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Thank you guys for asking.
Yellowcake.
So
Yellowcake.
We got Yellowcake on the line here, and for those who don't know what Yellowcake is, and besides a delicious dessert, and we'll get into maybe why he called it Yellowcake. Yellowcake is a pedal maker company, brand pedals, and this is the guy that does it.
Oh, I thought we were talking about uranium.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Ryan, give us the scoop. Let's start with the name. Where'd you get the name?
The name, excuse me. The name comes from Yellowcake enriched uranium.
No kidding.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right? Some people think it's cake, Duncan Hines, whatever. Your typical and that's fine too. But that was my intent. So I mean, if somebody says, "Oh, it's this," I was like, "Well, no, it's uranium." But if you want to think, yellow cake with chocolate frosting or however you want to put it, that's totally fine. That's up to you. I mean, that's just
my personal favorite with chocolate
Mine
frosting.
too.
That's
honestly, mine too. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I got a real thing for red velvet cake down here, which I don't really get, but whatever.
It's the crimson.
It's just
the crimson color.
Don't even get me started there.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's just not go there.
It matches the mud, right?
Yeah, the clay mud,
dirt.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So, when did you get started in making the pedals? I know that you were mentioning that you work in your regular job, and this is sort of the lifesaver passion thing that you do. So, how'd you get started in this?
The premise came from a long time ago, where like I had certain dirt boxes where like I just didn't have enough output volume, and that really aggravated me. And I was uncomfortable about opening up, and I really still am, about opening up and modding my own pedals, because at the same time I didn't really know what was going on. So even if after reading a Boss schematic or whatever, you'd still be kind of a bit like, ugh. So I just kind of decided just to kind of pass the free time that I had at that point in my life to start thinking about building pedals. And I was always a tube distortion second channel on your tube amp type person. And when I started here and got exposed to different kinds of music, I started noticing that, and through reading and stuff, that they were using mostly cleanish amps. And I was like, my God, this is crazy. They sound fantastic. And that's for me when it started. And so like I basically did a ton of reading on the internet with all the DIY stuff that was out there. So I'm more of a self-taught. Like I'm not some guy that's got like some electrical, electronic engineer degree or whatever that, And so, and that's kind of where it all started. So I basically and then the incarnation from that of messing around with ideas and putting stuff together and taking stuff apart and breaking stuff and stuff not working, was the first incarnation of what the furry burrito was. And so I started etching boxes and started slowly trying to get it out there. And at some point I got to a point where I was just like, well, if I really believe in what I'm doing and I really like doing this and I really wanted to reach the masses, because some of the very small number of people at that point that had one really liked it, I figured I might as well go all in to a certain degree and start like getting the boxes powder coated and professionally printed and all that kind of stuff. And then it just kind of went on from there. And then I did the fried gold and your mom, the MK Ultra, and the latest, which is the Lida machine, which was a total departure from the normal for what Yellowcake was seen as or known for.
Well, you just mentioned the names of the pedals and I think most people are probably most familiar with the furry burrito and most recently the Lida. But would you mind just kind of running through what each of those pedals are and what they do and how you got the name?
Oh, jeez.
For each one of them.
Okay. Furry burrito, the name comes from a childhood memory. My mom talking about like when you leave like a burrito in the fridge too long, it gets moldy.
Nice.
And it's a furry burrito.
Nice cover
And
story.
so I kind of correlated that with like an overdrive with fuzz, but not
Sure.
Right. But with not like too like gnarly or heavy of a transistor based fuzz, where this is an IC based fuzz. It's like an overdrive / fuzz.
Right.
And that's where the starve knob really helps kind of bring that all together.
I like a starve knob on a fuzz pedal. I'm a fan.
Yeah. And so that is the crux of what the furry burrito is. And the fried gold was like a light overdrive that broke up, once you crank the gain to like maximum. It has kind of like a breakup, like your amp is breaking up a little bit. Kind of like I envisioned it being sounding to me, and inspired me was more of like a garage rock type pedal. Yeah. Of course, I mean, the people that like it and use it took it to like they use it for whatever, but that was my, what I interpret things to be and how everybody else interprets is usually two different things, which is fine. We all kind of come together and be like, I see this, and they're like, well, I see this, and everybody plays different. So when you hear people play your pedals and they sound completely different, because I'm not the most articulate player in the world, and I'm not like really super clean, to hear that and they get sounds out of that you've never really gotten out of it is, to me, always impresses the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And I really like that. So the Fried Gold was that, and your mom, which, I mean, come on, the name Fried Gold, honestly, I have to go backwards. The name Fried Gold was, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I have not.
Oh man, Jared, you got to watch that. It's hilarious.
Oh, Jared,
I haven't seen
Jared, you're killing me.
All right,
you're killing me,
something
Jared.
to look forward to now.
And Hot Fuzz after that.
Oh, yes.
Actually, Hot Fuzz. I like Hot Fuzz better.
Come on, Danny. You've never taken a shortcut before. Fried Gold came from that part of, it's like, go to Liz's. Or we'll go to Mom's, kill Dad. Sorry, Philip. And then, go to Liz's, pick up Liz's, and go to the Winchesters and wait for this whole thing to blow over. And then it's like, how do you like that for a slice of Fried Gold? And I was like, that's a great,
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
Okay.
So it kind of came. It's always these little things, and it kind of wraps it together for myself, but it doesn't. It's usually 3 or 4 different ideas or things or objects that bring the whole, the cool. The art's always totally unrelated to the name, but to me it works. And your mom is a silicon / germanium transistor fuzz pedal, and it has a starve knob too, which I really like. So that was a little bit more like of a straightforward head fuzz, but still can kind of get a little bit overdrivey, but also get the fuzz that everybody likes. And then the MK Ultra is basically a fixed wah with a blend that has essentially like an octave up. It's an octave up that's always on, but then you can blend in the fixed wah and adjust the frequency of the fixed wah. Nice. So like the left knob is basically blends the fixed wah into that octave up, and then the right knob, essentially the control knob, essentially is the pitch of adjusts the pitch of the fixed wah. So
gotcha. Do you have a personal favorite of that line?
Oh, well, right now,
because those are all the drives. So we've covered the drives, right?
Yeah, right now I think my personal favorites, it's kind of a toss-up between like the Fried Gold Furry Burrito and your mom.
That covers them all almost.
Yeah.
But the way that with the Furry Burrito starved completely down, and the way it affects and goes with the Lida machine is just super damn fun.
Nice. So let's talk about the Lida machine real quick.
The Lida machine was I've had people ask me, when are you going to do a reverb, and when are you going to do a delay, and when are you going to do kind of like the typical stuff. Not like the drives aren't typical. And I was like, I just wasn't really comfortable or inspired by doing any of those, for the simple fact that there are so many great reverbs out there, and there are so many great delays out there, and so many great phasey type things. I wanted to do something that's just totally weird, crazy, and wacky, and that it was inspiring to myself, which is where all these the 4 previous came from. And so I wanted to just dip my toe, or basically I guess I dove in head first into this which I view as more of a cross-platform pedal, because I don't know if you've seen the Knobs demo that came out a couple weeks ago.
No, not of the Lida machine. No, I didn't.
Knobs did a fantastic. Scott from Knobs did a fantastic demo. And I sent him that pedal back in August, and he really, really liked it, which really made me feel even better. So I spent a large part of most of this year up until Summer NAMM getting this thing done and ready to go. I started it, I think, messing around with the concept and the idea back in November of last year. And, or 2016, I should say, November 2016, because we're in 2018 now. And so I really wanted to do something that was completely different and off the just totally wacky, like I've never, just to set myself apart from myself to a degree. And so that's where that came from. So it's, a voltage controlled filter, runs on positive and negative voltage, and with two LFOs, the main LFO that's always on just has a depth and a rate, and you can go fast or slow. And the switchable LFO on the left is ramp, sawtooth, and triangle wave like the other, only it's just you can go up to ramp and toggle down on the toggle switch to sawtooth, and then it has a depth and a.
So while you're talking about that stuff, a couple things, just so everybody understands. So explain what an LFO is.
Low frequency oscillator, basically like your tremolo type vibe sound.
Gotcha. Okay. And the selections, the wave selection. So we got sine, sawtooth, and square. I think that those are the ones you mentioned, right?
The main ones are they're sine, sawtooth, they're sine, triangle, and square. Okay. And then you can also do sawtooth and ramp.
Okay.
So basically, these are triangle waves, LFOs.
Okay. So somebody sees the pedal and they see these funny little drawings on the side of that knob. This is something that I think, early on when I was looking at pedals as a young pup, I was like, I don't know what any of that means. And even when you're listening, sometimes it can be hard to discern on certain pedals when it's maybe not quite accentuated to the degree that others are. Jared.
Well, I mean, I was just going to say when I was younger and I looked at those pictures that he's like on the Phase 100.
Yeah.
Those pictures are
Same
there.
thing.
The one I got, the pictures are wore out, but I don't care. But when I was a younger kid, I would look at the picture and just associate the picture with the sound that I was getting. I didn't understand waveform and what it all meant. I just, it was just a visual thing, to sound.
Yeah, on a sine, you're getting a smoother transition in between the effect, right? So it's more of a rolling, if I'll make some noise like wow, wow, wow. Now, if we bypass all the other ones and I don't make a bunch of racket and we skip straight to the square, that's when you're more likely to get that chop sound, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's a good idea. Todd always had a good way of explaining things so I could understand. No, that's what I say. The square is definitely choppier.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, so that was an awfully long way around the woods to get back to the cabin. Sorry everybody, but
the listeners are probably like, land the plane for crying out loud. For crying out loud, you guys got a podcast? I don't even build pedals. I know what the heck. I could have done this fast. Crying out loud.
I always try to take moment if there's it's really easy for us to talk about things that we're familiar with or that even if we don't know, a lot of things we're familiar with that we don't even know. We just accept as, well, that's what it is, and you just kind of roll with it. And I think anytime that we have the opportunity to explain those little things that we so casually roll over, like that's when most of the learning happens. So
yes,
I
it is.
Try to do that.
It is. I've learned, choppier.
We've
sound
all
for
learned
sure.
some stuff.
Choppy. Yep. Chops.
Land the plane.
Yeah. So Lydia machine. Lyda machine. Okay.
Call it whatever you want.
Yeah. The Lyda machine.
I was just listening to that earlier. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was definitely I went through and I had a friend test it, and he ran it through his Moog, and he was just
wow.
you know what?
Oh man, that's heavy.
Yeah.
It was a smaller Moog synth, but he ran it through his Moog, and he was just like, is it Moog or Moog? Because I've heard two different.
I've always heard Moog, but you can call it.
Is it Moog or Moog?
Right.
It's a Moog, and he loved it because he was like, you know what? I hate that I don't have enough LFOs on my synth, and you only get like one, or I've got one.
What's an LFO?
Low frequency
oscillator.
Oscillator.
Have another fireball there. Anyways,
I think I will.
okay. And and he was just like, and I've seen pedals, and there's not very. And the other thing too is that there aren't that many pedals out there that are VCF or resonant filter or whatever with an LFO. Normally there's just one LFO, and I was in the middle of doing this and trying to put this together, and then somebody's like, oh, so have you seen this? And I was like, no, they're doing one, and they're like, have you seen this? This just came out at Winter NAMM, and I was just like, mother, and I was just like, all right, well, I'm going through with it anyways. I don't care. But they didn't have two LFOs, and they were like, and I like the idea of being able to switch one off if you don't want one, or if you don't want any of the LFOs, just turn your depths all the way down, and you don't have to worry about it, and just use the resonant filter. And that's why I put a CV in. So if you wanted to plug a synth module into it that had a CV out of whatever, you could run it through the VCF.
That's a lot of acronyms, man. Tell everybody what a CV is.
Voltage control filter. CV is a controlled voltage out. So anybody that is familiar with the synth modules in the synth world, that like your little synth module rack, Euro rack or whatever, will have a CV out or a CV in.
Okay.
Some of them don't have CV outs. It's a control voltage out, which sends whatever signal that is in that rack, whatever it is, whether it be like another LFO or another or like a sampled hold or something crazy, or a VCO, like that really nasty voltage controlled oscillator. I can do that sound.
Yeah.
See?
Excellent.
Kind of like what the data corruptor is, which I think is fantastic, which is like they really harnessed the sound of like what the old Schumann PLLs were, because they were really.
That was a game changer, I think.
Yeah, that is a game changer. I really wish they would have done a VCO or a CV out on that, because that would have been like, wow, crazy. But I don't know what's inside the box.
Especially now that we all know what those are.
Yeah. So I also put a CV in the back door for myself, so to speak. So if I ever did anything else along that line at the time, I was thinking, well, if I ever did anything else in this little world, the cross-platform world, that like I wouldn't go back and be like, oh, I wish I would have done. You know what I mean? I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that.
Totally.
So, yeah. So I'm glad. And there's an expression in for the frequency of the resonant filter, so which is very fun.
Ooh,
Cool.
yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how to get our hands on one of those here.
Yeah.
Play around with it.
Yeah, you probably should do that.
Yeah.
I think we're talking to the guy. Right?
But you're like I think I might know a guy.
Bring one to Nam so I can take it home.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about taking it home.
Yeah. You can just hold it and give it back.
It'll be on my board. It'll be on the board.
You can look
play
at it
around with
lovingly.
All right.
So let's see. We've got a few more things that we want to ask you to just kind of get to know you a little bit better. I want to go to the Wayback. I'm going to go to the Wayback Machine first, and then we're going to go to the Way Forward Machine. All right. So the Wayback Machine. Where'd you get started in guitar stuff, man?
I saw Live Without a Net, Van Halen back in, I think, 1990 or something, and I was like, I want to play guitar.
Sammy Hagar days.
The Sammy Hagar days, which actually now, I mean, if I have my choice, I prefer the Roth era.
Yeah. Well, now the Roth era is longer than the Hagar, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I think sound wise,
It's just more raw back then.
it was more raw, and it's just there's more of a purity to it.
Yeah.
and the licks are just a little bit more pure. I think the whole body of work of Eddie Van Halen is fantastic, but like to me, I gravitate more to that sound.
Yeah, on the Music History podcast, you can learn all about this. So,
the Music History podcast?
That would actually be a great one.
Hey, I wasn't trying to offend it. I wasn't trying to offend anybody.
No, I hear you, but that's actually a really good idea. I wonder if I haven't found one yet. So
are we doing is there a music history podcast you guys do, or are we just
maybe there should be one. Yeah. I don't have time. I'm booked, man. But anyways, let's get on with this. So you started. You saw the Van Halen show. What did you start playing first? Guitar wise.
Guitar. Oh gosh, I had a Washburn KC-10V.
Wow.
Yeah,
that sounds terribly underwhelming just because it has a lot of letters and stuff. What describe that guitar for us?
It was just like basically like messed up. It was just like a knockoff, and it just had one humbucker in the bridge, and it was just like a piece of junk. But I loved it, and it was my first guitar, and I had it didn't have any kind of it had just like your typical tremolo. It didn't have a locking trem or anything. So I had somebody put a Kaler on it, which those were just like, I hated those things. It wasn't even like a real Floyd Rose.
Yeah.
And and I had somebody route a neck pickup in there at some point, and I had it modded, and boy, that thing was hideous. I still have it somewhere in pieces.
Oh yeah, you got to keep those things later.
I mean, the neck was so. I mean, if I even tried to like, if even I picked it up now and touched the neck was like about like. I'm sure that it was like had like about like 3 feet of lacquer and like barely any wood, because it was just so over lacquered of a neck. Yeah. I mean, for crying out loud, it was like, oh my gosh. But it was just and I played through a crappy 15 watt solid state Washburn amp, and my first pedal was a DoD Metal Maniac.
Whoa. Awesome.
Yeah, I was totally burning it down back then, boys. I'm telling you what, man.
That's fantastic. So,
yeah, it's totally deep.
So aside from your old beater, what was the first guitar that you got that you were just like, okay, I'm feeling legit now?
I mean, I had a couple other little beaterish type guitars. But several years later, I bought a used, which I still have and I love dearly, a used Fender Mexican-made Telecaster.
Okay.
Paid $250 for it.
Wow.
That's it.
What does it look like? What
it's a cream colored, two single coils. It's just like, the
standard.
Yeah.
it was like a standard, but somebody had changed the saddles, and I kind of left them because I liked them. And somebody put in I guess they changed out the bridge pickup for like some like Seymour Duncan something or other. And it was definitely a hotter, bridge pickup. Okay. And I really, really liked it. I used that for a while, and I still have it. And then I bought a water damaged Strat that had been, refurbished. It's like another Mexican made, and it was like a blue sparkle. And I still have. It's like a light blue. It's not like a dark blue sparkle, but it's a light blue sparkle. It was like that was $250.
Don't
I love
see too many light blue sparkles out there.
It was like, this was back in like in the 90s. Yeah. So and then just kind of went on from there. I don't have a lot of high dollar guitars. Yeah. Actually, anything that I did have that was high dollar, I sold like probably 4 or 5 years ago to help pay for the Yellowcake thing, to push that forward at the time. Yeah. I had amps that I didn't use anymore. I liked them, but I just wasn't using them because I was using more clean amps. So and to help fund Yellowcake stuff back in 4 or 5 years ago, I sold the old triple rectifier that was before they went to the 3-channel.
Oh, wow.
A 5150 had
Yeah, that's some heavy equipment there.
Yeah, and I sold those things, and it was kind of like, I wasn't really using them. I kind of miss them, but I think it's only for nostalgia. But it wasn't for like, because I'm gonna totally just wanting to rock out on it. It's kind of like, I can't believe it.
Yeah, and application changes, so you gotta. I for some reason, I mean, it's probably not the same thing for all people, but I feel like amps are a little bit more utilitarian in that, so like. If you buy an amp, you sell an amp, you're not quite as heartbroken unless it's a really, really, really special amp. But to me, I feel like the guitars are the more personal,
right,
kind of connection thing. But I'm sure everybody right now is going, "What? Fender Tweed."
When I started just building pedals, even the last 3 years when I was really trying to start to push this out there, the boutique amp market has just been crazy.
Yeah, it's massive. And man, there are some fantastic amps being built.
For the most part, all of them are fantastic. And it's just like,
it's an amp buyer's dream right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward real quick. Like, how about that? You talked about you're planning some new stuff. Can you enlighten us on that?
Oh yes, I have a few things that I'm working on. Nothing I can really talk about.
Okay.
As things go forward, like, if we do another podcast, or if I say, hey, I want to reach out and be like, hey, let's do another thing because I want to kind of talk about something that might be happening.
Yeah.
Then yeah, cool. Of course.
All right.
And if the more I get comfortable with you guys, maybe I will, like, under the radar, send you something to check out.
I would love that. Much appreciated. All right, let's get on with the one of our favorite parts of the show,
which is would you rather?
Would you rather? Oh,
yes.
Boy. All right, this week's would you rather? Would you rather have an all rosewood neck, and it's going to be a Fender Tele neck, by the way, all rosewood, board and neck itself, or would you rather have a flame maple neck, board and all?
How many A on that flame?
A4.
A 4A.
4A. A4, 4A.
It's a 4A maple.
I don't know. What does that mean, Tony?
I'm glad he didn't say A1 because I was like,
right, steak sauce. What does that mean?
4A is about the top of the line, most figured.
Okay.
Yes.
4A.
I have to go with the maple neck, and it's only from experience. Like, I have like maybe one or two rosewood fretboards,
right?
But I prefer the maple neck.
Cool.
Sorry.
Perfect.
Am I wrong here? Am I fired?
No, you're
what's
not.
going on?
Tony, what are you going with?
I'm going with the rosewood because I've had the opportunity to play an all rosewood neck, both board and neck itself, and it's a darker sound, especially on a Tele.
Yeah.
It's really kind of a departure.
Interesting.
Yeah. They're heavy. That's the one thing. It feels clubby somehow.
I don't even honestly know that if I've played a rosewood neck. I mean,
not a whole lot of people. I mean, the most famous
rare,
one is probably the George Harrison
Tele,
rosewood Tele.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing is like I'd have to go with what I know on that one.
Sure.
I can't really. I've never tried something.
That's perfectly fair.
Yeah. Jared, what are you doing?
Dang it. I'm gonna go with the rosewood.
Yeah.
For right now, I'm gonna. If I had to pick right now, I'd go rosewood. Well, maple sometimes is unforgiving. You have to kind of put that thing in submission if it acts up on you. You know.
What does that mean?
Well, they could.
Come on, I think you know what it means.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it bows. If it bows or it's not straight, it's hard to repair those.
Okay.
I really feel like with accents in this episode, we kind of like went like guitar knob soprano style.
Yeah, it's bordering on that.
What are you gonna do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going with rosewood too because of the I think the novel notion of it, the uniqueness, and yeah, that's it. I've never played one either, but I would like
Maple's
to.
brighter anyway, man. The less brighter, I'm happy. You know.
Okay.
I don't want totally bright. Tinsy bright.
Yeah, tinsy.
I like mellow.
Tinsy. Mellow, bro. Excellent.
I'm just repeating what I'm saying.
I know. It's fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much. I had a great time. I hope that everything went as well as it could be expected.
Pretty awesome, man.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, no, it's super fun. Super fun.
Pretty fun.
It was great having you on. This has been it's always great to hear the backgrounds on the people that are building the machines that we use, and that we that all the ones that we choose and we take and we say this is ours and this makes the sound I like, and that becomes part of us in ways. And so I appreciate
to me it's always very humbling, and it's never lost on me to be able to do this. And
yeah, for sure. Let me just call out a couple people really quick. We want to give a big fat thank you to these fine folks: Mason Green, Sean S., Oliver Gonzalez, John Daly, Robin Smith, Derek Fitzer, Pete Marshall, Carlos Mancha, Matt Brammer, David Wolfson, Martin Cliff, Tom Barazin.
My guy.
Woo, man. That's a lot of people. We love it. Thank you.
They got their name right on the thing.
And hey, if you guys want to become an executive producer, you can head on over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs, just like these guys did, and help us out. We greatly appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
How do I become an executive producer? That's interesting.
You go to theguitarknobs.com. Wait.
No.
Patreon.com
/the Guitar Knobs.
That was a test, and you guys passed it with flying colors. I love it. Last thing, I just want to mention that we'd like to remind you that at reverb.com, it's a marketplace just for musicians all over the world. So you can buy, sell, and make offers and negotiate with complete protection. Whether you're selling from your home or if music gear is your day job, there are millions of listings online already, and it's free to list yours too. So join the musicians marketplace at reverb.com.
Beer.
Dudes.
How do we get in touch with Pickguardian and
Brandon Wild?
That was another test. I think I was going to get off Hey, Ryan, how do we get a hold of you?
You can email me anytime. Ryan at yellowcakepedals.com. You can go to the website, yellowcakepedals.com. Or the best place to really get a hold of me and check out what's going on is my Instagram account at yellowcakepedals.
Perfect. Tony, how can we get a hold of you and pick guards and junk?
Well, there are many, many ways.
Yeah, pick one.
Many ways. You can go to... Can I have two?
You can pick two. Yeah.
You can go to pickguardian.com, and you can also contact me through the various social medias.
Excellent.
At pickguardian1.
Yes.
The number 1.
Yes. And you'll be sure to help them make a very personal addition to their guitar. I think that's probably the most personal thing that I've been added to mine through your fine work. I appreciate that. Jared.
For pickup questions and anything like that, go to...
Did I just hit the help desk at like the car parts place? What?
For your pickup
Press
needs
1
and questions, go to BrandonWoundPickups.com. You can email me, Jared, at JARED at BrandonWoundPickups.com. I'm also on Instagram and the other one, Twitter, at Brandon Wound, and on Facebook, Brandon Wound Pickups.
All right, guys.
Brandon sounds like he's a bit wound up. Honestly.
Yeah. He gets like that. He gets a little wound up. Hey, have an awesome week or whatever part of the week until we talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you. Get in touch with us on our social various things. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Guitar Knobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.